I just got back from an 8-day cruise to the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and also Amber Cove, Dominican Republic. It was a lovely time. And guess what? It cost me less than $2,000. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what I spent my money on and exactly what I would do differently. You can see my shirt. This is one of my souvenirs that I got at Grand Turk, and it's fringe and I love it so much. The lady cut it there right for me. So listen, the cruise actually cost me $1,144 for that was for the room. I got an ocean room. I actually shared with my mom, and the room, wasn't too big, but it was actually enough space for two people. That was the ocean view room, not a balcony, the ocean view. So that was for 8 days. And guess what? I did not pay for that all up front, you guys. You can pay for cruises in increments. So that's exactly what I did. So I just took this cruise a couple of days ago in April. It was spring break week. And we actually booked this cruise last April. So I had a full year to actually pay off this cruise. So every single month, I just dedicated a few dollars to pay it off. I basically paid $100 for basically 12 months to cover the cost of my cruise. And that's how I broke that down. Now, that does not include additional costs, extra dining fees, and everything else that you need to pay for when you are cruising. Now, this was my first cruise. And you guys, let me tell you, I'm going to consider myself a professional cruiser, and I'm going to give you all the tea in this video. If you have never cruised before, or if you are going to cruise again, let me know in the comments what you would do differently, because I'm going to give you all the tea about Carnival Cruise Line, what I like, what I don't like, and exactly where I think they're going with highway robbery. And don't even get me started. Well, I am going to get started about those drink packages, because people, honestly, they don't need to be drinking 15 drinks a day and not watch their kids. Yeah, I'm going to call you out about it. You don't need to be having a drink package for thousands of dollars, because one, who's really drinking 15 drinks a day? No judgment though. Okay? No judgment. If you actually drink 15 drinks a day, you're on vacation, there's no judgment. But I really want people to drink responsibly. With that being said, I did not get a drink package. And let me explain why. On the ship, they give you a couple of options for drinks. So for breakfast, they'll have standard juice, orange juice, apple juice, you name it. The standard breakfast drinks, tropical splash, and they have water, tea, and coffee. Okay. If you want to go buy a drink at the bar, drinks on average are going to cost $15 to $20 per drink. Mind you, I knew this up front. I know my drink limit. I am not, first of all, I was there with my family, my mom and not my dad. I was sharing a room with my mom. My parents, they actually don't drink. And so, of course, I want to be respectful of them. And at the same time, I'm not, into drinking 15 drinks a day on a boat that's rocking back and forth. And yes, I did get seasick, so I had to get some Dramamine. And drinking like excessively on a rocking boat in heat doesn't work out too well for me. So I knew straight up the drink package was going to be a waste of my money. So guess what? I just didn't get the drink packages. What I did though was I did bring 2 bottles of wine. They do allow you to bring wine. So I put one in my bag for me, and then I put one in my mom's bag. And that was actually 2 bottles of wine, $30. It was actually pretty good wine with a high alcohol percentage there. And I brought that with me. Now, what I will say is that you really do need to think about water. The water on the ship was actually pretty disgusting. I'm going to say that. It was actually pretty disgusting. And it's just because I think the drinks were mixing together in those drink machines, and it was actually pretty nasty. So I literally got bottled water. Now, here is my grievance with the bottled water. I was so annoyed. I called down the room service to get a case of water. And you would think a case of water is what? 24 bottles of water. Why did these people bring me literally 12 bottles of water, Crystal Geyser? And I'm like, where's the other bottles of water? They're like, oh, this is a case. It's 12 bottles. And guess how much I paid for that? Guess how much I paid for that? I literally paid $21.50 for 12 bottles of water. And it's crazy because I really, really, really did not want to spend that. However, I was really, really thirsty. The water was disgusting. So I think that's where Carnival tries to trap people, basically. They want them to pay all this money for basically drinkable water. Because if you were drinking that water on the ship, tasted like coffee, tasted like tea, other types of drinks. And so I will be investing in a bungee strap so I can also bring my own water. Again, first time cruising, I definitely learned my lesson about the bottled water. So between the trip, I paid that off basically $100 every single month for a year, which is why I was able to basically keep the cost so low for me and affordable and to pay it off in time. You have to pay off the cruise, I believe, about 2 months before the sail date. So I made sure I had enough time to budget with that. So let's get into the specific details of everything that I actually bought. So the cruise itself for 8 days was $1,144. Next, I paid $95 for a specialty chef's table dinner. Now, you guys, let me tell you about this chef's table dinner because if you've never been on a cruise ship or been to a specialty dining, I highly encourage you to do so. This was $95 and I got 11 mini courses. And this food was so good, put together by the master chef. And this was an exclusive experience, only 16 guests per night. And it was just so cool. Now, I did get some looks from people kind of like, why is she here? Now, I'm not going to bring up everything I was thinking, but anyways, I had a great time. So they had braised lamb, they had braised short rib, they had some kind of chocolate dessert, some kind of ice cream dessert. I'm going to put all the pictures here so you can indulge with me. I really did have some great dishes at that chef's table, some tomato dish stuffed with cheese, delicious. The only grievance I actually had is they brought out the short rib like almost last. I'm full. Everybody was so full. So I felt so bad that this delicious, 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 like 6 hour braised short rib was just sitting there because it was absolutely delicious, you guys. I was just so full and I couldn't finish it. So I had to leave it. So I had that for $95 for a specialty dinner. It came with 11 mini courses. It came with several glasses of wine. It actually came also with a tour of the galley. Now I'm going to put this video here because this was such a cool experience. So if you have never been on a cruise, let me tell you, the experience is actually pretty crazy because you're literally in the middle of the ocean in basically a floating hotel. And so there's a lot of people on this ship. So our ship had about 4,000 guests. So 4,000 guests. And then they had over 1,000 people for crew members and staff. So there's almost 6,000 people on this ship. All of these people need to eat basically breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. So when I'm walking through the galley, of course, they have to prepare a lot of food for all of these people to eat. And this was during dinner service in one of their restaurants in the main dining room where they're serving people. So they take us back into the galley in the kitchen. And the chef is like, oh my gosh, don't freak out. This looks so unorganized, but I'm telling you, this is literally, literally, literally the most organized operation ever. We have it down to an exact science. And I'm like, yeah, you have to have it down to an exact science because literally there were so many people everywhere and everybody's hungry. And you know how people get when they're hungry. Everybody's like, they want to drink, they're hungry. And so that was one of the coolest experiences I had. And I'm really, really sad I didn't get a chance to take a tour of the boat to where the captain sits. That was extra money, but it was still a great time to do the chef's table dinner. Now, my other specialty dining option was at a steakhouse restaurant. That cost me $52 for the steakhouse restaurant. I had delicious lamb chops, Caesar salad, a drink, but the only thing I hate about that is this particular day, it was high seas. And your girl Mariah here, she gets seasick, you guys, okay? I get seasick and the boat was rocking. And so I'm literally throwing up before dinner. Literally throwing up before dinner. But I'm like, I already paid my $52. And you know what? It's too late to cancel. So I'm going to go anyway. So what I did was I literally just went anyway. And thankfully, I was able to keep my food down. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish my dinner or eat as much as I wanted to because I was feeling sick. But the ambiance and experience and the staff there at that restaurant were amazing. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'll do a review for them because I want them to get, just a little extra gratuity or something because they were so accommodating to me, brought me hot tea. But I'm sure they deal with sick people on a cruise ship all the time because there were people, throwing up as you would expect. So $52 for the steakhouse restaurant, 1,144 for the total cruise, and then $95 for the chef table. And then I did tell you I got internet package for 8 days so I could use my phone and laptop while I do my business stuff, and that was $204. So I basically spent an additional $300 before I even got on the ship. But other than that, I really didn't have to pay for anything else other than what I decided to pay for. So let me show you what I got on my haul and exactly how much everything cost on my haul. So I already told you about my shirt. I got the Grand Turks and Caicos t-shirt. Now that cost me $25 for the t-shirt. I also got this beautiful, beautiful Dominican Republic butterfly bag. Pink is my favorite color, and I just was so drawn to this bag. I loved it so much. That cost me another $25. This beautiful little sail ship I got here, that also cost me $20. It was actually a little less, but I just got it because it's decorative, and I'm not the one to spend a bunch of money on a bunch of souvenir crap that I'm not even going to ever use or like give away. Everything I bought for a souvenir, I'm actually giving away to friends. I'm wearing it multiple times because I love it. Some t-shirts and the bags. This Turks and Caicos bag is actually my favorite. I actually used it for my new work bag, which is great. It's super sturdy. It cost me $25. Most of the things that I got cost me $25, except the magnets and keychains. Those were about $5 each. And I collect magnets. I have them from several different countries that I've been to and on vacations around the United States. So I'm super into collecting magnets and also collecting just like little knickknacks, but never things that I'm never ever going to use again. So what else did I buy? The keychains, $5, the Wi-Fi, the 2 specialty dinners. That was pretty much it. Now, the excursion that I did go on, I only went on one excursion. I really wasn't into doing all the excursions. I've done swimming with dolphins before. I've done, going through the rainforest when I went to the Dominican Republic one time before. So what I decided to do, or me and my family, we decided to basically take a city tour of Amber Cove. And I'm going to insert all the videos for you guys here. It was beautiful. However, I think Amber Cove is kind of like the ghetto. I'm not going to say ghetto. It's kind of like more of a rundown kind of looking city than other places like Punta Cana or maybe like Santo Domingo because I actually did go to those other places. So I do have something to compare it to. But it was still beautiful. It was still beautiful. The beach though, it had a lot of like seaweed and stuff like that versus like Half Moon Cay or Grand Turks where the water was absolutely crystal clear, everything. You can see the fish and all. And in this one, basically at Amber Cove, at that beach there, it was a lot of seaweed on the water. And my sister, she didn't even want to get in the water because she said, yeah, it's too dirty. This water is dirty. Why do you want to get in that? Anyways, so that was that. But it still was great. It still was great. And I actually didn't spend that much there. Now, my daddy, he did treat me to a Dominican Republic snack, which I just got beans and chicken and rice. And actually, that was actually a really, really tasty Dominican snack. So I really love that. So for my spending money, I actually didn't spend like money from my 9 to 5 or my paycheck. What I actually did was use money from my brokerage account called dividends. And if you don't know what a brokerage account is or what dividends are, I highly suggest that you go watch my video. It's a full video explaining what a brokerage account is and exactly how to set that up. I have it here on my channel for you if you want to go watch that. And then after you set that up, how you actually buy an investment so you can actually start making some returns on your money. I have those two videos posted on my channel as well. So when it comes to the dividends, all I did was literally just withdraw money from my brokerage account, $500. And I'm like, cool, this is literally interest. I'm literally paying for my trip or my souvenirs with money that I made off my money. So it's actually pretty cool to see how investing actually funds your lifestyle when you really get into it and you understand what you're doing, because investing is so easy and simple, you guys. And right now, with everything going on in the world and the market being so volatile, world events, which highly drives the stock market, if you didn't know, world events drive the stock market. So with the recent election, the change of administration, the wars going on around the world, the Strait of Hormuz being closed. Reminder, I'm a news anchor, so I know my stuff when it comes to world affairs. All of this is heavily impacting everything around the world and the stock market. So now is the time to actually get involved, because the motto is buy low, sell high. So basically what I did was I just sold off a couple of my investments, or I just basically withdrew some money, my dividends, from the account that was available to withdraw because it's my money. So that's exactly what I did. If you don't know what I'm talking about, highly encourage you to go watch my videos. And on my TikTok, I have plethora of videos on there too, just pushing about investing and teaching about investing. Now, if you don't know me, you know I am a very bargaining person or money savvy. I like to catch the deals, you guys. So what I did for this trip, I actually got so many new items, and no, I did not order them off Fashion Nova and Shein or whatever, or TikTok shop. I went to my favorite local boutique where their clothes are so freaking cheap, like $2 for shirts, dresses, $3, $5 for blazers. I have gotten some of the best like Calvin Klein blazers there, and just some cute dresses and dress up dresses that people donate for prom and stuff when I go to fancy events. I went there and I literally hit the jackpot for this cruise, you guys. I got several cover ups, several little rompers that look like sea, like nautical type, and they still had the tags on them. So what I'm saying is that when you're preparing for a trip, of course, you don't have to be like me or anything, but I am a person. This one piece of hair, you guys, like this one piece of hair is driving me crazy. I'm sorry. So, anyways, what I'm saying to you is that you absolutely can get affordable items and affordable clothing that look cute and also fit you well at some of these little boutique and thrift shops. Do not knock it until you try it. I'm the first one to say, girl, you better go up there to that thrift shop. You better go to that boutique and get something, because I know there's something there that you can wear and you're going to save tons and tons of money. Also, on cruises, a lot of people don't even dress up that much. Yes, they dress up because they have white night, elegant night, party night, white party, and things of that nature. But as far as like on a day to day, every single day, no, they only really dress up like for dinner. So what I basically had on was bathing suits and cover ups, flip flops. I mean, I did dress up for dinner and when I went to take pictures with my parents and everything. But as far as like bringing all these clothes and like being fancy every day, yeah, you don't need to. But if that's your aesthetic and that's what you like, girl, guy, do you? Because yeah, you can find you a shipmate on the ship. And they actually had like singles night, LGBTQ night, come down to the bar, find a shipmate, find your singles. So I really enjoyed that too. They actually had little mixers, they had shows, and so all of that is free. So basically, the only thing you're actually paying for extra on a cruise when you go is basically the extra dining options, any of the excursions, and any of the drinks that you have if you don't have a drink package. Other than that, the dining hall is open several times a day. It has a buffet. You can go up there and eat there. You can eat at some of the other restaurants that are also free. I did eat at this delicious bonsai sushi place that was delicious. Again, my first time cruising, and this was on Carnival Sunshine. So that's my only thing to compare it to. Other people have said that Royal Caribbean and also Norwegian, they are a bit better. but I haven't been. When I was in Dominican Republic, we did see a Norwegian ship and it was huge, huge, huge. And I'm like, wow, that ship probably has to hold 10 to 15,000 people if our ship is holding like 6,000. So that was actually pretty amazed to see that. I love just seeing new experiences. I looked out the window when I was eating dinner at one of the specialty restaurants and I saw a dolphin jump out the water, and I loved it. I love dolphins. I love seeing them out swimming. Good thing I did not see any sharks or anything like that, but it was a very cool experience to see that. So the only thing you're actually really paying for is just anything extra that you want. T-shirts. I got another t-shirt. I actually got four t-shirts. So the Grand Turks t-shirt, a Half Moon K. One just says be salty, be sweet, stay salty. And then the other one was from the Dominican Republic, which I'm going to actually fringe all my t-shirts like this. So if you know how to fringe, I'm actually going to fringe these shirts out and everything. So that's actually everything that I paid for on the cruise. I will put like a full list of everything that I paid for just so you can see it added up to literally just under $2,000. And I'm going to keep being savvy and using my investments and using my credit card points so I can get free travel and bookings and things of that nature. So if you know how to get even cheaper travel, even cheaper cruises, hotel rooms, bookings, let me know because I'm all about saving more money and putting it somewhere else to make myself more money and traveling off of basically credit. Credit and investments. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm about. And I love to teach you guys. If you're actually interested, you don't know exactly what I'm talking about in this video, just check out my website, my stand store. Everything I offer is there. My beginner investor blueprint. That's going to teach you step by step how to open up your brokerage account, read your screens, and get started with your own investments. Here's actually some of the things maybe I would do differently on my next cruise. Number one is 1000% bring your own water. I cannot stress this enough. The water was disgusting on the ship. So please bring your own water because I literally got two cases of 12 bottles of water. I'm still talking about this. So you guys know it's bothering me. If I bring it up more than one time, then you know either I really, really like it or it's really, really bothering me. So just the fact that I paid $42 basically for 12 or for 24 bottles of water is actually insane. So please always bring your own water when you go on these trips or basically just be thirsty or just drink the nasty water. Number two, don't even spend your money on drink packages. I didn't spend my money on drink packages. I did get several drinks each day. I got about like 3 drinks a day, 3 or 4, but it was nowhere near how much I would be spending for drinks every single day. Like I'm not drinking 15 drinks a day. That's ridiculous in my opinion. It's really not worth it. Plus, you can actually bring your own alcohol. I believe there are ways you can do that. Look, if you want to do that and get caught, but of course, there are ways you can bring your own alcohol. So the drink package is just literally not worth it, in my opinion, at all. Now, the specialty dining restaurants, yes, in my opinion, I do think it's worth it. Just because you're on a cruise, you're on vacation, it's just normal to actually want just a natural fine dining experience. And honestly, in my opinion, it was worth it. It was worth it because you got 11 courses. You got dessert with that, glasses of wine, and you got a tour of the actual kitchen where they make the food. The chef actually showed us how to do a melting chocolate recipe. Yes, that was actually worth it. The steakhouse restaurant, again, the one I went to, very good. Yes, I would pay that again because for one, I got lamb chops. So if I was to get a steak, on average, if you went to a regular restaurant and ordered a steak, it would be probably $30 to $40 just for the steak alone. So I got an entree, appetizer, and dessert for just the price of $52. So yes, I do think that is worth it. Is the Wi-Fi plan worth it? Yes, if you are going to be doing work and actually need access to your laptop. It also depends on the duration of your cruise. So if you're only cruising for 2 or 3 days, 4 days, probably not worth it. But if you're doing an extended cruise like me, 8 days and longer, if you want to be able to use your phone for internet and also speak to people who have like basically Android phones, then yes, I would purchase the Wi-Fi plan for that. And I think that's pretty much all I paid for, you guys. Like, I had a beautiful time with my family. We had a beautiful, beautiful tour of Amber Cove. We went to Umbrella City. We went to Pink Alley. We went to the beach and stopped by there. And I just love it. I just love it. The only thing I will want you to be aware of are the people who are selling stuff, the vendors, because they can be very rude and very aggressive. When we got to the beach, I got off the bus, and of course, they have all their tables set up. So we're walking into the beach, and they have all these tables set up. And of course, I turn my head and I'm looking at the table, and the lady says, "Looking doesn't pay my bills." Uh, and you know what I said to her? You know what I said to her? I said, "Okay, I won't look then." And I walked away. Mind you, if she had just said, "Do you like this?" or whatever like that, I probably maybe would have bought from her. However, the thing about it is like, I don't owe you anything. You're rude to me. And it's crazy for you to actually be rude to me when you want my money. I don't have to give you my money. You want my money, and the foreign people are just so rude. And when I was leaving, she's like, "You promise you're gonna pay. You promise." I was like, I didn't even say anything to her. I just looked at her and got on the bus, and we pulled off and left because I didn't promise her anything. And it just made me so upset and pissed off and mad that you're sitting up here, you want someone to pay for your products and buy your services and stuff, and you're just rude as crap to them. They're not going to get a dime out of me. So I want you to be very, very careful. Also, do not let these people bully you into spending more money. By the time we got to Amber Cove, I've already spent up my cash, literally, by giving out tips to people taking pictures for me with their, birds and things of that nature, to the workers cleaning the room. I already had lent out all my cash, spent it up. So by the time I got there, I literally didn't even have any cash left. But maybe I could have asked my dad or my mom or my sister and mustered up some cash if I really wanted something. I'm sure they would have spotted me. But no, you ain't getting nothing. You rude to me, you're not getting anything. And that's exactly how it went. I just walked off. But overall, I'll say I had a great time. And another thing, just if you want to put into your budget cleaning supplies, I would 100% do that, because I'm not going to say they did a bad job cleaning or whatever, because our cleaning attendant was very nice. I'm going to say that they don't do thorough cleaning. Okay. The way they flip the rooms for the next cruisers to come on is very quick. My mom, she ended up getting sick, and unfortunately, I did end up catching ringworm, which comes from moist, contaminated environments in pools and water. And of course, I was in the jacuzzi in the pool, and unfortunately ended up catching ringworm. I went to CVS immediately and got some cream, but that's what happened on my cruise. So if you want to invest some money, put some money into cleaning supplies, wipes, Lysol, you need to do that, because it's a lot of people on a ship in close contact, and you need to do that. Speaking of people being nasty on the ship, when I went to the buffet, and I was sitting in there at the table, and I look over, and there's this lady with no pants on. Now, of course, I'm sure she was at the pool or whatever. All she had on was a shirt, but her shirt did not cover like her full belly, and she had her bikini bottoms on. Her stomach was like on the bar where they put the food, like on the bar where they put the food, and her area is like right there too. That was the last time I ate at the buffet after I saw that. I either went to the restaurant where they bring the food out the kitchen, or I went to a specialty dining restaurant where they also serve the food out the kitchen. I don't do buffets like that. And I definitely did not do the buffet anymore after I saw a lady with no pants and her bare stomach on the bar area where people put their plates when they're getting the food off the hot bar. it was just, it's just mind blowing to me how disgusting and nasty people in this world truly are, where you have a shared space. This is not your home. And I just wish that people would be a little bit more cleanlier in shared spaces. But that's just me. So I would definitely invest some money in bringing cleaning supplies because people unfortunately are nasty. That's the nicest way I can put it on the internet, on YouTube. If you know me in person, you know what I would be saying. You know what I would be saying. But I'm not going to say that here. I'm not going to say that here. But anyways, I had a great time on that cruise. That's everything I spent, under $2,000. If you don't know how to get money from investing, I highly suggest you go watch my other videos. I will be doing story time again and more videos about just like cruise breakdowns and like travel breakdowns, how much I spend on a day to day, things of those videos. If you would like to see them, please let me know in the comments. But if you want any more help, you know where to find me. Everything's over on my website. But that's it. Okay. Bye, my rich babies. Mwah!